Are you looking for passive investment ideas? That's what I'll be sharing in this video. Hi, I'm Camille Gaines, founder of FinancialWoman.com, and I've been investing myself for over 30 years and have now created multiple income streams. So I completely understand the concept of and actually have passive investments myself. Let's start out with defining what is a passive investment. Well, it's simply an investment that you don't have to work at. It's something that you purchase and there's no work involved. Now, let me also say that a lot of people say that investments are passive, but is there really such a thing as passive investment? I sort of don't think there is, at least initially, because you've got to do the research to understand what it is you're investing in, and you've also got to stay on top of it. You've got to monitor your investments. You've got to track your investments. So I say passive investment with a grain of salt because it's not completely passive if you're taking care of your money as you'll want to do. Having said that, let me tell you the top passive investment ideas that are really, I would say, the most common. I'm not saying these are the top ones based on what you should invest in. Only you know that after doing your own research. But these are the most common types of passive investments that you hear about. Now, the very first one I'll mention, and most commonly passive investments are investing simply in stocks and bonds. Why? Well, they just require no work beyond the initial research, especially if you either invest with a financial advisor or in a mutual fund, and there's just not a lot of work involved. That is one of the most common passive investments. Another common passive investment is simply what I call alternative traditional investments. They're traditional investments in that you buy them on the open stock market, but they are alternative because they're not your everyday stocks and bonds. And those are things like MLPs or Master Limited Partnerships, REITs, which stands for Real Estate Investment Trust, and that's a way to invest in the real estate market through the stock exchange. And so MLPs and REITs are common passive investments. And let me mention, people usually associate income with passive investments, but if you're just talking about passive investments, that's not necessarily the case. A passive investment could be something you buy and you just hold it for 10 or 20 or 30 years and you have a capital gain from it. This ties back to my reasons for investing, so you'll want to see that video if you're unclear about this. Now, another passive investment is sort of marginal passive. And I say that because I have this type of investment myself. Some months are passive, some quarters are passive, but some months are very active, and that is rental properties. Rental properties are often, presented to investors as being completely passive, but they're really not, unless you have a full-time manager taking care of the property for you. And most investors don't get to that stage unless they have many, many properties that property manager can take care of. And because of that volume, that scale, they're able to be profitable with a manager. So rental properties may or may not be really passive. But most of the time I would say they are a pretty passive investment. They're certainly more so than something that you have to work every single day like an online business. The next very common but a little less common passive investment is private lending. That happens through angel investing. That happens through online communities that allow private lending. There's private lending with real estate, especially when the first lien is obtained. So private lending is another common passive investment. I will say that with small business passive investments, what I've seen and been involved with, and also what I've heard from other angel investors, is it's not always so passive. If things don't go well, a lot of times the investors have to jump in and get involved, and they can also take much longer than originally thought to work out. Then the next type of passive investment that I would mention that's often presented as being completely passive, and it can be like the rental property, pretty passive once it's established, but it doesn't get established without some hard work. And I say this because I have both of these income streams or these passive investments. And one is information products from your own IP or intellectual property. That could be books, that could be programs or courses that you have online. So online product sales for intellectual property. And then the other type of online sales is for products such as an Amazon store, which I have. Initially, it was a lot of learning, a lot of work getting it set up. Now that I've had it set up and it's been going for a while, it's pretty passive. And so I really enjoy that aspect of it as being a passive investment. But those investments didn't start out passive. I had to earn the right. I had to earn that passivity for those investments. So that's what I wanted to share with you in this video. Hopefully I've given you some good food for thought. If you like this video, please click the like button below and let me know. Subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my other videos. Thanks for watching.